Hello, I'm Terence from techgeek.com.au here at the Alienware booth at PAX Australia. Joining me now is Joe from Alienware, and you have the Alpha,
yes,
the home console, am I not mistaken?
This is, what we call this is the world's first PC gaming console. It's a purpose-built living room PC.
Okay.
And that scares a lot of people off because they think, oh my gosh. The product is meant to work with just this.
Okay.
So every single Alpha ships with a Microsoft Xbox 360 controller.
Okay.
That plugs right in. You can turn the unit on, get started, go through setup, manage your resolution, manage your networking, all with the controller.
Okay.
And the idea is, there are so we also ship on the box Steam.
Okay.
So every single box ships with Steam Big Picture mode.
Okay.
And in Steam Big Picture mode, you have access to 3,600 games, most of which you already own. So it is at heart a standard PC.
Okay.
So it's running PC games in the living room with a friendly controller, and there are 600 games on Steam that are fully controller supported.
Okay.
But if your favorite game was League of Legends, plug a keyboard in. It's a PC.
Okay.
So that's really what we're trying to get out, is that it's an incredibly powerful living room-based PC, designed for the living, very quiet on the front, very unobtrusive. The thermal solution is designed to be extremely quiet as well, so you can have this in the living room, and it's not going to be too noisy. It's upgradable, so if you want to upgrade the memory, you just pop that out. There's the memory, you pop this out. There's the CPU and the wireless card, so if you want to upgrade those later. World's first upgradable PC gaming console.
And they're just standard normal computer parts?
Standard normal computer parts.
Okay.
And then on the bottom comes off, standard 2.5-inch hard drive. So if you think about what you want to do with a PC, we kept the entire PC ecosystem alive. You can use any keyboard, any mouse. We ship the Microsoft Xbox 360 game controller. It's an incredible controller. And so it works with virtually every game that you're ever going to want.
Okay. So this was originally announced with Steam OS. Did you decide to go ahead with it after Steam decided to delay it?
Well, so the Steam OS is still available. You can download it as beta. It's available today, and it'll run on this machine just fine. Valve, and I really respect them for this, they were working on a controller. They felt it wasn't up to snuff, so they went back and made refinements, which delayed the quote-unquote Steam machine. So the big benefit of that OS, though, was that it would work great with a controller, and you wouldn't need a keyboard and mouse. Well, we wrote the Alpha UI to run on Windows, so it would replace that functionality. So using a controller, you can still change networks, you can update your computer, you can go ahead and change the resolutions, change the audio input, all with a controller. Now, when the SteamOS comes out, we're going to be on board, fully supportive. In fact, underneath on the bottom, there's this door, and there's what we call a little doghouse, and that's where the Steam controller transmitter goes. So we have not given up on Steam. We are firmly behind it. We believe in it 100%, and once it's available, we're going to ship with Windows or the Steam OS.
Okay. And so let's move on to some of the other announcements you've made today. Let's talk about the Area-51, that massive gaming PC that's a hexagonal shape with looking at the hardware specs, it seems pretty epic.
Well, we knew when we started designing that about 5 years ago, we started looking at all the different PCs out there, including ours, and they're all rectangles. And every time we come out with a new rectangle, it doesn't take long before there are rectangles that look like it. So when we're going through all the different design options, we could go and figure out, oh, that's been done, that looks like that looks like this. And it was really one of those situations where we needed something fresh and something different. So our industrial design department came out with the triangle. We call it, actually the code name was Triad. And so we started looking at it because at first we're like, whoa, but quickly we're like, oh, there are huge benefits to this. ergonomically, when it's sitting underneath your desk, your front ports are looking up at you.
Yeah.
So that way you're not crouching down trying to figure out what they are.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a triangle, you think about how PCs work now in the vertical space, you've got the wall and the PC goes right back into it. So now you've got all this heat and thermals back here that kind of collide and bounce off the wall and get sucked back in. But when it's like this, they naturally convect up and away. Your cables get munched up and broken and crimped and everything behind there. Now, they just free as a bird. So there was a huge benefit ergonomically and thermally by doing it that way, and it saves space. So you don't lose anything on the inside. You can have 375 watt graphics cards. It comes standard with a 6-core processor that you can run, that we also offer 8-core processors. On the other side, there are 5 hard drive bays. We also include an optical drive. So you don't give anything up by going to a triangle. You just gain. You gain better thermals, you gain better ergonomics. It's a better use of space. The other thing is that the feet, the 3 sides, the 3 ends are structural. So you can reach down, grab it, and pivot on it to get access to everything. We also include lighting in the back that lights up the ports if you want to work on it and you don't want to have a flashlight sticking out of your mouth or you're holding your cell phone up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like I said, it looks pretty epic. You're reading the specs, it's pretty epic. What is the price for this?
The starting price down here is $29.99. It's available at JB Hi-Fi.
Okay. And lastly, the 13-inch Alienware laptop.
Well, we're really, really proud of that.
Yeah. Do you want to go on about it?
Yeah, I sure do. So when we were designing our notebooks, it takes us a few years to get this done. It was right about when everyone was starting to go for those super thin, super sleek.
Ultrabooks?
Yeah, Ultrabooks. And we went to our customers, and first thing they said was, don't give me an Ultrabook. I don't care how thin it is, I need performance. So we knew we had to have performance. And then we started looking at the other components. It's not just the thermals of the keyboard, or it's not just the thermals of the GPU, CPU. We include an Ethernet port still, because gamers tell us they want Ethernet ports.
Yeah.
Ethernet ports are pretty big. You don't see them on super thin notebooks. And because they just won't fit. But we still knew we had to have one. The other thing we did was we kept our keyboard, which is 7.5 millimeters thick.
Okay.
Now, why is it that thick? Well, we have 2.5 millimeters of travel. The top of the keyboard is dished 1 millimeter. We have a steel plate on the bottom, or an aluminum plate on the bottom, for rigidity, because you know what gamers do on their keyboard? They beat the heck out of them. So customers told us that they didn't want a cheap, flimsy, chiclet style keyboard. Well, that adds space. We used copper thermals because we knew that would be the best way to do thermals in the most amount of space too. So when we add all of that up, the 13 came in at just about 1 inch. And we knew the only way to make it lower was to sacrifice one of those other things that gamers are telling us that they want. And that we want. I mean, we're all gamers at Alienware.
Yeah.
And so we went back out and we learned quickly that gaming customers, 1 inch is 1 inch, 20 millimeters, who cares? 30 millimeters, who cares? They just want it to be about 1 inch. And as long as we have all that other stuff, it's great. But the one thing they all asked for, this is years ago, was how can they upgrade their graphics? And of course, we took that seriously because we're Alienware. And so we made the Alienware Graphics Amplifier. This is how you upgrade graphics in an Alienware notebook now. And you're wondering why this is big. By the way, this weighs more than the notebook.
Really?
Yeah, but it weighs more than the notebook. Because when we wanted to upgrade customers, we didn't want to upgrade them with a small notebook CPU. We wanted to upgrade them with a full-size desktop GPU. This is an industry standard 300, GTX 780. You can put a GTX 980 in there. You can put an AMD R9 290 in there. Doesn't matter. You can also put in a 6 series graphics card from NVIDIA that you got lying around not doing anything with. So a 6, 7, 8, or 9 series graphics card. So this is now what will drive the graphics inside of your Alienware 13 notebook.
That's pretty good.
So when we decided to go out and upgrade customers, we're like, well, let's really do this. Let's do this the right way. So this is a 460 watt desktop power supply that will drive this video card. Yep. So the notebook, it still has a GTX 860M, an incredibly good notebook graphics card. But we knew we wanted to be able to provide more. And this is an industry standard slot, industry standard size, industry standard connectors, industry standard power supply, all sitting in the Alienware Graphics Amplifier.
That's pretty good.
It connects to the notebook through a PCI Express cable. Probably never heard of a simple PCI Express cable before because there hasn't been one before. We knew the fastest way to move graphics was through PCI Express, not by putting it through some other connector, some other interface or standard. So we run raw PCI Express out of this notebook out of the notebook into this desktop. And the hardest part actually about this whole thing is imagine you're running your desktop and you're playing a game and someone reaches down and pulls a graphics card out while you're playing the game. You wouldn't even think of doing that, would you?
Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial event.
Yeah.
You don't expect good things to happen.
Yeah.
So because we made this PCI Express, that is the effect of pulling that cable out. So we're like, that's a problem. We got to fix that. So we did. So if you accidentally or on purpose pull the cable out of the back of the notebook or it gets kicked out of here, the system won't crash.
Okay.
The app might, but the system won't.
And it will just revert back to the notebook graphics card?
Exactly.
Okay. And so how much is both the 13-inch and the...
So this is $349 available today at JB Hi-Fi, ships end of the month. That is $349 as well. Or, wait. $15.99.
$15.99.
Yeah.
And that's called the Alpha?
This is $699.
$6.99.
And this does not come with a graphics card. You put in whatever graphics card you want.
Yeah. And it supports NVIDIA, AMD.
NVIDIA or AMD.
Okay, yeah. And as well, it supports other laptops other than Alienware if people want to upgrade, let's say.
Well, so it is a unique connector that we offer because no one else is making PCI Express cables. The PCI Express, it's a standard PCI Express signal, so there's nothing unique in that cable. We just made it fit our notebook because we needed it to be thin. So.
Yeah. Thank you very much for showing us some of the stuff that you brought out here today. And good luck with the rest of PAX.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
You have a good time. Thanks.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.